MasterCard is accepting cryptocurrency transactions, Bumble has gone for IPO, and General Motors unveils its latest EV. All this and more on this week's Invest Roundup. Sup guys, it's Terry and you're watching Invest Roundup. Last week, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 1%, the S&P 500 advanced 1.2%, and the Nasdaq Composite gained 1.7%. Sounds peachy, right? Not according to the guys at Barron's. Apparently, there's nothing logically wrong with the market, but there's something not quite right and not making sense with the recent optimism. What? Just let us know once you figure it out, okay guys? In other news, MasterCard might have just paved the way for other credit card companies to dip their toes into cryptocurrencies. A dating app went for IPO last week and did really well, and a new version on an electric vehicle reveals itself. Let's get into this week's news. Disclaimer: whatever stock or news we talk about is not a recommendation to buy or to sell. These are all just news we deem important, things we believe you need to know if you're invested in the stock market or if you intend to invest. First news item: it is a new era for MasterCard payments. Our favorite shows are online, we make friends online, we even start dating people now online. I'll talk more about that later. Wink wink. But first, have we finally arrived at the era where even our money is online and not on paper anymore? Well, MasterCard certainly thinks so. Last week, the company announced that it will start to allow users to transact using digital currencies later this year. And on top of that, they're also actively engaging with central banks around the world on their plans to launch new digital currencies. Now, do not be confused. Yes, MasterCard did previously offer cryptocurrency cards, but back then the cryptocurrency is first converted into traditional currency before being used to transact. While this time, you can transact them directly, which means quicker and cheaper transactions. And you think, wow, this is revolutionary. No. MasterCard is only the latest mainstream firm to embrace digital assets recently, following the footsteps of PayPal, who had allowed their users to directly buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies last year. Sidebar: here's the weirdest thing. Despite all these efforts, PayPal maintained that they will not invest cash in cryptocurrencies and they are merely capitalizing on this growth opportunity. Let's see how long that lasts. Anyway, back to MasterCard. It is worth noting that they will not accept just any digital currency, but only those that meets the right privacy, security, legal, and efficiency standards, which is a very small percentage at the moment. But it is safe to say that Bitcoin and Ethereum will be in the mix. Bitcoin holders had already won big this week when Tesla announced they've invested $1.5 billion into Bitcoin, which caused the price to rocket to a whopping $48,000. Crypto investors are now also watching the Dogecoin, a Shiba Inu crypto which started as a joke, but thanks to Elon Musk have also been skyrocketing. Long-term investors, you might want to sit this one out. MasterCard's share price has increased since the announcement, a good sign that investors are optimistic of this inclusion. In fact, they may be too optimistic considering the share price is over its intrinsic value by more than 30% right now. Second news item: another new EV, or shall I say EUV, reveals itself. Thanks to Tesla, who started the whole hoopla about electric vehicles. Incumbent car manufacturers are now also unveiling their versions of electric vehicles, or EV, one at a time. Some weeks ago, we talked about Tesla's Model Y, and then there was the Ford Mustang Mach-E. And this week, we look at General Motors' newly released all-electric Chevy Bolt EUV, or electric utility vehicle, almost like an SUV. Anyway, this Bolt EUV will include GM's hands-free Super Cruise semi-autonomous highway driver assist system. And what is the hands-free Super Cruise semi-autonomous highway driver assist system, you ask? Simply put, this system: 1. Uses facial recognition to identify whether the driver is paying attention and there's no need for them to touch the steering wheel while the system is operating. 2. It has LiDAR mapped more than 200,000 miles of limited access freeways in the US and Canada, which works hand in hand with the car's onboard cameras, radars, and sensors. Basically, the car would have a system that has memorized these freeways in the US and Canada, and it will be able to move around on its own accord. Pretty cool, eh? It can even hit up to 250 miles on a full charge. But as good as it sounds, and as much as we all know how solid GM is, it is now facing stiff competition from Tesla and Ford. Tesla because it has sold more than 400,000 units of Model 3s and Model Ys combined in 2020, while Chevrolet only sold 20,000 units of Bolts. And Ford, because the Mustang Mach-E had just won SUV of the Year honors, which of course will boost sales. We're not even talking about other car manufacturers who haven't unveiled their EVs yet. More competition coming up right there. In any case, General Motors looks like a medium-risk investment at the moment, which means there might still be hope. Also, at the moment, GM's using the pricing strategy to beat its competition, which is why the Bolt EUV's starting price is only around $34,000 apiece. And I'm so ready for it. You know what else I'm ready for? I'm ready for you to subscribe to our channel. I mean, what are you waiting for? We give you weekly stock market updates for free! So hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest market news. And finally, we look at the newly IPO'd dating app Bumble. Earlier in this video, I said everything is now online and that includes dating. So maybe that's why dating apps like Bumble are so successful right now. So successful that it's gone for IPO. That's right, Bumble had raised $2.2 billion from investors and went public on Nasdaq last Thursday at $43 per share, which is above the initial range set for the offering. This made the CEO of Bumble, Whitney Wolfe Herd, the youngest woman to take a company public at the age of 31, just behind Katrina Lick, the Stitch Fix founder and CEO who IPO'd her company in 2017 at age 34 years old. Bumble was valued at $8.2 billion at its IPO price, but share prices popped as much as 80% on the first day and another 8.8% on Friday, before closing at $75.46 versus their IPO price of $43. For those of you who are not familiar with this app, Bumble is a dating app, or as they call it, social discovery app, which employs a freemium model where customers join for free and then pay for other add-ons if they wish to. And apart from that, Bumble also owns Badoo, another location-based social discovery app outside the US. Bumble now joins its biggest competitor, Match Group, which owns other major dating apps like Tinder, Hinge, Match in the public markets. Compared side by side, however, Match Group is a relatively bigger business with revenue of over $1 billion and business fundamentals that looks pretty solid in terms of profitability, health, and growth. Nope. Ooh.
You have a girlfriend.
I'm just... So those are the 3 important investment news we had to share with you this week. Once again, we encourage you to get more information if you'd like to act on any of the companies we shared about earlier. Comment below and tell us what you'd like to see on Invest Roundup and share this video with your friends, especially those who are vested in the stock market. So here's a happy Lunar New Year to all you guys out there, and we'll see you next week.